What's the most common reason that asylum cases get denied in the United States? Look, if you are going by what they say, what USCIS lists as the reason, they give you this generic like you failed to establish past persecution on account of protected ground. You also failed to establish that a reasonable possibility that you'll be persecuted in the future on account of protected ground. But that's just like boilerplate, meaningless language. In reality, I would say that the thing that the officer tries to point to convince their boss that you don't meet the requirements is two things. There's two things. They just say, well, the facts don't show that the person has a well-founded fear of persecution because there's not a reasonable possibility that someone intends or is inclined to persecute them on account of a protected ground, and that there exists in their country a pattern or practice of persecution. Now that's all technical. That's like all highly legalistic technical stuff, right? The other excuse it's easier to understand is they call you a liar. They say, we think you're lying, basically. They don't say those words, but they say there were too many inconsistencies in your case. Therefore, we found you not credible, which means they say we can't believe you because there was too many things that seemed off, that seemed like they contradicted each other in your case. So that's kind of an excuse they use very frequently to deny people, is they say, oh, there was too many inconsistencies. You're not credible. Therefore, we can't take anything you say seriously. Therefore, you haven't met your burden of showing that you meet all the requirements for asylum. Therefore, you're denied. So credibility is like the number one go-to excuse to try to justify a negative decision, even when they shouldn't be doing that. It's what officers use all the time. When they just want to deny a case but they don't have a good reason to do so, they find little things that either are or look like tiny little inconsistencies, even if you're not lying, to try to make it sound like you're a liar, and therefore they should deny you because of it.